How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds, where today we are going to continue work on a couple of vehicles. But before we do that, guys, I've got a big shout out to give to my buddy WePlayEndlessGaming for giving us a $200 super thanks, which is going to help our channel a lot, guys. So as you know, I've been having a couple of technical difficulties, and I've replaced power supply, and I'm currently using a loaner graphics card from one of my other friends. So my plans are, with the funds that he has donated, we are going to put that towards upgrading our graphics card, well, getting our own one for that matter, so that we can actually return this graphics card to its original owner. So yeah, guys, that is pretty nifty of him. So go and check him out. There's a link down in the description to his YouTube channel. He's also a very well-known My Garage content creator. So if you haven't heard of him yet, definitely go and check him out. So yeah, guys, starting off today, we have got a couple of things that I've sorted out off camera already. So the BMW E36 over here, we actually just needed the gas tank, and I actually forgot this thing has got a gas tank mounted to the underside of the car there, like where the rear seat is. So we've got that installed, and the car is now running and driving pretty well. So let's quickly just fire this thing up for you guys so you can hear what it sounds like. And yeah, as you can see, it starts up right on the money, no problems whatsoever. And yeah, she actually does do a little bit of a burnout, although this is just a, the stock engine. It's not really anything amazing or anything like that. But yeah, so this car is going to be going up on auction. I think at the time of this recording, this car should probably already be on auction. So there will be a link to the auction of this car as well in the description. It'll be done on my Discord server. So yes, guys, go and check that out. There's a link down in the description directly to the auction. And also you can join the Discord at the end of the video. There should be a Discord thing that pops up. So yeah, we've got a couple of things, as you can see, happening in the shop here. So first of all, the El Camino you see here, which is the suspension we've got over there, needs to go onto this truck. So this belongs to my other good friend, Mr. Dalboy, FRH Games. So go and check him out as well. There's a link down in the description of his channel, and also the original builder of that BMW E36, Mr. NK Gaming Adventures. Go and check him out as well. So yeah, guys, a lot of shout outs going out in this episode, which I think is awesome. Then we've also got TC's Loda Coupe, which is very close to done. We just got a couple of nitty gritty stuff to sort out, like this pulley that we were missing, and the exhausts and the headers and stuff needs to go onto this thing. Then this car would be pretty much done and dusted. So yeah, I'm actually quite stoked how this thing turned out. It looks absolutely amazing with the wheels and the paint job, and even that hood that's been removed is also a very nice touch to it. So I think TC's probably going to be happy with this car once he can get it back finally, because it's been quite a long journey for this car, if we can call it that, guys. And then over here we've got the famous 1958 Bel Air, which we replaced the floor pan. It actually ended up being quite a big job, because we had to literally cut off each and every single part of the bodywork and transfer it over to the new floor. So that has been done already. So today what we're going to see is if we can get to this and get the body stripped of all of the trim and stuff like that, so that we can get this thing sandblasted. I think we still got enough bags of sand, and yeah, everything looks good. And I've also got some primer, so we're going to see if we can go ahead and prime that thing today as well. We'll see, depending on time and how far we get with everything. And out there we've got our new project from Dalboy, which is actually the trade deal that we've got with him for all of the parts that we sent him already, and also part of the suspension note we are putting on his El Camino, aka Jesse, there for him. So guys, I think let's get cracking. We're going to start on this side of the shop. We're going to work our way that way, and the Bel Air would probably be the last vehicle we work on for today. So I was kind of thinking we are going to need some wheels for the El Camino, because Dalboy didn't send us wheels with it, guys. So my plans are, we are going to be taking these tires off of these rims. Okay, this one is already removed, because these are the tires that I'm planning on using on the 58 Bel Air. with the rims that are currently on it. So we're going to probably rip off these wheels first of all, so that we've got the kind of a full set of wheels for Dalboy's Jesse over there. We've already got just a loose wheel that we've got laying here, which is also going to go on this thing just to make it somewhat easier to roll around and get it back to him. So yeah, I think let's start on this side, guys. We also still need to do the brakes on this thing, so I think we might as well just do that while we are here, because we didn't get the discs. So let's just grab our discs, screwdriver, and we're just going to just screw them down and then mount these brake calipers. All right, so this one should go on here somehow. Yeah, it looks a little bit weird, but trust me, it's going to work. It's just the way this thing has been designed. So yeah, this wheel, I don't think we're going to be able to paint it today. Doesn't really matter, but we just need to get the right tires onto these. And then at least that part of the whole thing will be sorted. Okay, let's put this one on there. Alrighty, and just like that. Alright, and now that our air compressor is kind of laying on its side, we'll just set this to 2.0 bars and quickly air up this tire again, and that way if we do need to move the Bel Air, it's also going to be able to move at least. Right, so we just got to air these up, and I think once these things are painted white and we've got the little chrome hubcap in the center there, it's going to look a whole lot better. So for now, we're just going to get these mounted and get this thing, you know, kind of rolling again. Alright, so yeah, just got to tighten it all down. They're probably going to have to come off again. Alright, so yeah, it's pretty much just prep work that we are doing now in order to get the El Camino up on some wheels. Alright, we need to remove one of these. Okay, so that needs to come off. Okay, put that down over there. This is the rim that's going on the El Camino. Alright, let's quickly do this. Alright, I might actually send these tires, all of them with the El Camino, over to Dalboy, because I don't think we're going to have a need for them. Okay, so that one is going back on the Bel Air. This one with this tire is going to go over to Dalboy. Alright, so let's just mount that one over there, and we'll get this one. Yeah, let's just maybe drop it in bed of the truck over there for him. Alright, let's quickly air these up, and then we'll get them sorted out. So this one is going to be aired up for the Bel Air. Alright, and this one is going to be aired up for the Jesse over there. Alright, so that is going to be one of the wheels we mount to the El Camino. Alright, I should actually just check this one for pressure and see if this thing is still holding its air. Okay, let's just quickly do this as well. Alright, I think, yeah, let's just maybe just reseat this tire on here and also check the condition of it. Okay, so the tire is still good. We can just go ahead and mount it again. Alright, so it's basically going to have one odd wheel on the El Camino, but it's just to get this thing rolling again. Alright, just air it up to 2 bar again, and that is looking good. So we've got 2 wheels already for the El Camino. Alright, so we'll just get those mounted, and then this one is going to go onto the Bel Air. Alright, we can also just, I think 3 bolts are good enough just to make sure the wheel doesn't fall off, and we're not going to be driving this car anytime soon. Alright, so yeah, this one we also just did 3 bolts on it anyway. Alright, get this tire off of here. Okay, there we go. Alright, this one is going to come off of this rim. Alright, so that's gonna... Okay, well, we could probably also just mount this tire first, seeing as it is on the machine. Alright, so there's another one ready for the El Camino. We just got to air it up, and same with this one. We just got to mount the tire onto this for the Bel Air again. Yeah, this is actually a whole lot of work. But, yeah, well, part of the job, you know. Alright, where's this valve over there? Okay, valve stem. Okay, so airing this one up for the El Camino. And we're going to air this one up for the Bel Air once again. Alright, there we go. Alright, now we can get this mounted back onto the Bel Air. Alright, we'll just do 3 bolts again on this one. Okay, looking good. Alright, this side we've also got the brake disc and the caliper that still needs to go on. So let's quickly just do this. Okay, get that onto there. Alright, let's come over here. We're just going to zip this down. Alright, grab this. Come on, can we just get it? Okay, that goes onto there. Alright, and zip it all down. Okay, and then this wheel needs to go over there for the tire swap. Okay, that tire is off. We can just take the rim off for a second. Okay, take this one there. Alright, that will go onto that rim eventually, and then this tire can go onto there. Okay, looking good. Alright, let's put this one onto there and get this tire mounted onto the Bel Air's rim. Alright, so that is all of the wheels now swapped over. We've got... Okay, I think we did air this one up, laying close to us. Okay, so that one is good. Did we do this one? Yes, we did. Okay, and then this one for the Bel Air. Alrighty, looking good. Okay, so let's quickly go and pop this wheel back onto the Chevy Bel Air here. And there we are. So very nice thin white wall tires on this thing. Alrighty. And now I bolted every single bolt down, but that's okay. What the heck. Alright, and then these will be going onto the El Camino over here. Alright, let's just bring them closer. Alright. Alright, so now we've got all of the wheels that we are going to need for this El Camino just to get it sort of rolling around. Alright, so I think let's start with this. We need to take the old busted engine out of here. Should be able to get it up and over the top there. Alright, so the engine has already been sent over to Delboy, so he's going to be able to mount that himself. So we're not going to be doing any of the body work and such. I mean, we've got to leave some work for him to do as well, you know. Also, we don't really have the money to buy any more parts. So, yeah, practically that is trash. So we'll just put it down over there. We're going to grab this one, which is the complete front suspension. Well, almost complete. Alright. There we are. Okay, so now we need all of this. Alright, upper control arm. That can be mounted here, although it's not ideal because this inner fender is it's looking kind of bad. Okay, can we just get this freaking thing on there? Alrighty. Right, it is quite a bit of a chore getting this you know, put together and knowing that he's going to have to take it all apart again, but as I said, this is the only part of the job that we really need to be doing for him. And now our screwdriver is probably on the other side of the shop. We could also grab that one, but I think let's just grab this one. Alright. There we go. Let's just zip this down. Okay, we've also got some calipers for him that we still need to assemble. You know, put brake pads in and such. Alright, there it is. Okay, zip that down and everything else should still be tightened up there. Alright, so let's grab the brake disc here with the screwdriver. Okay, put that onto there. Alright, looking good. So now let's quickly do the front brake calipers. Alright, then we can get some wheels mounted, and we also need to do the shock absorber still. Yeah, so many things to do, and any way you could do it different ways, you know, different things before the other. So just go ahead and do this quickly. There we go. Alright, this one needs to be moved this way. Spun it around a bit. Okay, come on. Alright. Yeah, these things are so freaking hard to get on sometimes, but okay. Alright, let's get these pads in here. Alright, so the brake pads are ready to rock and roll. So let's get these mounted onto the car, which I can probably just bolt them down here. I think I did get a main brake line as well. Alright, so we'll sort that all out in good time. Alright, let's do this one. Just get it onto there, and we don't have the main brake line on yet, so we can probably grab that next, which is over here. Alright, that can go in, and then we can just secure it there and onto this side. Alright, for what it's worth. Okay, we still needed the one shock absorber on that side, so let's quickly just put that into there. Alright, and just like that, front suspension is getting there. We just need to get these torsion bars in as well. Alright, these are gonna hopefully stay put with that rusty old frame he's got down there. But yeah, also part of the stuff he's gonna have to sort out on this truck. Alright, let's put this Mercedes wheel onto this side, and we're just gonna bolt it down with 3 bolts as well for him. And then this one can go onto there. And just get it zipped down a bit. Alright, so now we can also just put his old busted engine back in there. And just bolt it down so that it stays put. Alright, so that is pretty much the front end done. We've got some pedals and steering column stuff, which is actually more like interior stuff, you know, but I figured, well, what the heck, it links to the suspension, so we might as well also do that for him. Okay, there's a handbrake cable. These are always fun to get bolted down. Okay, and now we're going to need the leaf springs. Let's just get the leaf springs on here, which, yeah, I know the frame rail is actually shot, but not part of our job at least. So, yeah, Delbo is going to be able to sort that out without any problems. All right, and this leaf spring is just bolted down. All right, so now we also need to do rear brakes, and this can also go on. Let's just get this on. I don't know if he's got a... Yeah, he's got it there. It is present, although it's not really ideal. What do they call that thing again? The middle frame brace? I think that's what they call this part where this mounts to. But yeah, you can see that thing is a little bit rusty. But yeah, this is just to get this thing onto some wheels for him, so that he can work a little bit easier on it. Alright, so there we go. Brake pads, we can pop these in. Alrighty. Okay, gonna need our wrench. Okay, let's get these brake lines on here, which are absolutely terrible to get mounted, but yeah, if you just fiddle around with it, you get it. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's grab the screwdriver with the discs. Okay, so these can also go onto here. Why doesn't it want to go on? Okay, yeah, just gotta put it the right way. Okay, and then this one can go onto this side, and it'll just zip it down. Okay, let's get these mounted. So which side is this? This is the driver's side, I believe. Okay, left-hand side. Okay, that's the zip down, and we can do this one. Alright, now the moment of truth is, are we going to be able to get this thing under here with the car up onto the lift? Yes, we can. Okay, perfect. Alright, we'll zip down the 4 bolts there on the U-bolts and brake line, and then we'll do the same on this side. Alright, so that one, these 4. Yep. Whole lot of work, but okay. And we can get him his drive shaft in. Okay, and we're just going to be able to bolt it down over here. So he's got the engine and transmission that we sent him. So that's going to be able to get into this, or put into this car, or truck, or ute, or whatever you'd like to call it. Okay, so let's just do the 3 bolts on this wheel as well. Okay, so that should do the trick. Alright, and last but not least, we'll just grab this wheel and just bolt it down over here for him. Alright, so that is sorted. So the old El Camino has got some shoes on, and we are going to be able to lower this thing back down now. Alright, let's take it all the way down. Okay, perfect. And we'll just do this. Get these lift arms out from under there. And now we're going to mount him some pedals, which, yeah, as I said, these are actually supposed to be interior parts, but I forget what the heck. We'll just get it in. And then it's just a little bit more complete for him. Okay, steering column. This way we can at least then steer the thing. It was quite a bit of a mission getting this thing up onto the lift like this. And we're just going to give him an old steering wheel that we've got laying around. This can also go on. I think this goes onto the firewall here. On the side of the firewall. Or, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, handbrake seems to be working. Everything is bolted down properly there. And now we're just going to give him this brake master cylinder. And we're just going to zip it down there. And also from the inside, we've got 2 bolts. We can just zip down there. And yeah, the firewall's going to obviously be removed again. But I think we did quite a lot of things already for him and sorted it out. I wonder if I should... Yeah, we can probably fill this up with some brake fluid we've got over here. I hope this is a full bottle. I'm not too sure, but we'll give him some brake fluid with it. That's not a full bottle. Okay, what the heck? We'll just grab another one. Okay. Alright, let's just fill this thing up for him. Okay, we are definitely spilling some brake fluid. Alright, I think that should do the trick. So this thing should at least have some decent brakes. Alrighty. Perfect. Can we just put this back on our shelf here? Yeah, that'll do. Alright, and we've got some trash. Alright, this is all going to go into the trash. I mean, there's no use keeping stuff like this around. You know, old rusty cross members and such. And now, where did I go with the wrench? Because now the wrench is very important, guys. We're going to need that thing now. Probably put it on the table here. There we are. Alright, so this is going to be used next for our Lada Coupe TC car. Okay, just drop that down over there. Alrighty, guys. So let's just do this real quick. And then I think this thing is ready to roll. We can probably get this thing off of our lift here, although we don't really need this lift today. But yeah, just to show you guys, it actually rolls pretty well. Yeah, I'm sure Delboy will be happy with this. And now if he really wants to do this on a budget, he can just get himself one matching wheel for this corner. And then he can even keep this one as a spare if he really wants to. But yeah, so there we go. We turned this old shell, which I believe is an abandoned car that he probably found in the woods somewhere or by the lighthouse or wherever, you know. Alright, so that part of the job is done, and now we are going to tackle the exhausts on this behemoth of a V8. Alright, so now, yeah, the first thing I need to do is probably get this pulley removed from here, which I think it's going to be accessible from here. Probably not that easily, so just grab this floor jack. Alright, I think let's just lift it up on this side. Just to give ourselves a little bit better access to that. Alright, that should help a little bit. Alright, well, let's try this now. Alrighty, come on, where is this thing now? It's... I think it's going to be easier to just undo this harmonic balancer. We can just get it out of here. There we go. Alright, let's take this little pulley off of here. Alright, so there's the old skinny pulley, and now we're going to give him this big fat one for the blower belt. Alright, that should go back onto there, and we can just bolt it down. Alright, so that is sorted. Alright, since we've got the car still up on the jack stand here, we can probably slide this in from under there. Okay, now we've got a couple of bolts. Alright, let's just do these up. Alright, header is mounted, and now we can get the exhaust fitted. Alright, let's put this nice under here. Just get it lined up with the flange there. Okay, now we've got 2 bolts on this. Alright, so that is the one exhaust done. Alright, let's lower it down. Alrighty, and I think we can probably also just go and jack it up on the other side here. Let's just see if we can get it under there. Okay. Alright, let's do this header on this side as well. Alright, there's the wrench. Okay, come here. Alright, get this slid under there, and then we can just zip this down. Alright, looking pretty good, and now we've got to do this exhaust. We just got to line up with the flange over there. Alrighty, perfect guys. So now this thing has got its exhausts on, and it should be a little bit quieter. It was quite a bit noisy when we started up the last time. And I also did go ahead and fill up the coolant off camera. Let's just check if it's still looking good. Yeah, that is done. Okay, so perfect. Alright, so now I had a comment in the last video where somebody asked me to do a burnout with this car. Or I don't really know if it was with this car or with the E36, but okay, we are going to go ahead and do a little burnout for you guys with this thing. So let's fire it up. Just hear what it sounds like now with those beautiful exhausts mounted, and yeah, it sounds like a proper V8. Alright, well, I think we're gonna do this probably not inside the shop, guys, so we are gonna pull it out. Yeah, this thing's got a lot of pep to it, and I just noticed it's got a bad sun visor there. Okay, well, we could probably also just order a new sun visor and send it over to him. But okay, let's come and do this this burnout. I might actually set the camera down outside. I think let's do that for you guys. Alright, let's get the camera outside, and then we're going to do a little bit of a fire toasting here. Alrighty guys, so yeah, it appears that the front brakes aren't really strong enough to do a proper, burnout, locking up the front wheels, but it's definitely going to be able to do a pretty gnarly burnout if you maybe put it against the wall like this, and then try it again. Let's see. Yeah, that is probably how you're going to have to do a burnout with this car, guys. But okay, I just noticed one thing. We are losing brake pressure. Alright, well, something else to fix. Let's just see. Maybe we don't have... Yeah, look at that. Alright, so the reservoir is empty, which actually tells me that we never put brake fluid back into this thing. Or it didn't have brake fluid. I don't know. So that's something we're going to have to sort out here real quick. So I think let's grab ourselves a bottle of brake fluid. Right, we'll grab this one. Okay, let's just put that on the backpack. Okay, we'll grab this half bottle as well. We're gonna need a wrench just to check all of the hoses, because I don't know if we maybe skipped a hose. Alright, well, let's just make sure we get this sorted. Alright. Alright, where are the brake hoses on this thing again? I should have actually brought the... Alright, that was tight. Okay, so... Just see if this is still tightened. There was our culprit over there. Alright, because I could have sworn I did a proper job at this. Let's just check this one. Yeah, that is good. I didn't check this one on the caliper side. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, that is still tight and that is tight. Okay. Alright, that is tightened up and that is tightened up. Okay, so that is good. I'll just check the last one here for good measure. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that is all tightened up then. So we didn't skip any of the other stuff. Okay, let's put that in the backpack. We're just going to grab some brake fluid here. Probably need to open the cap first. Alright, let's put that down over there. Alright, bring this back over here. Alright, let's chuck some brake fluid into this. Alright, that is empty. That's why I brought the other one as well. And there goes the wrench as well. Okay, well, not to worry. Alright, fill up the brake fluid and we are out of brake fluid. Okay. Alright, luckily I do have a plan because I know we don't have any more brake fluid laying around. So we've got this master cylinder over here with some brake fluid. Let's just go ahead and pour this over as well. Alrighty, come on, just sit upright. Now this is going to be a freaking pain. Okay, what the heck. Let's just fill up this thing. There we go. Alrighty, that should do the trick. Okay, perfect. So we've got some brake fluid in this thing. Now I think the brakes might be a little bit better. So we can probably try to burn out again. Alright, did I just... Yeah, I freaking tapped the headlight switch. Well, at least we showed you guys that that works as well now. Alright, so let me just try this again, because I had a suspicion that the brakes weren't good. So, yeah, now the brakes should be good. Alright, let's try this again. We've got ourselves a nice burnout pad here. Okay, first gear. Yeah, it's still pushing the front end, guys. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty nifty street machine. Alright, well, let's put the camera down again for you guys outside and then see what this thing looks like if we do a little burnout with it. Alrighty guys, so I think that is enough playing around with the customer car here. So I think we're just going to park it right here. And everything looks good now. I think we've sorted this thing out. The EFI system is running pretty well. And we actually did have the engine run quite a while now. So I think we should be good. I think everything's fine because I was a little bit concerned about the air cleaner not going on. Or, well, no air cleaner available for this thing. But I would like to call that a job done, guys. So I think we did pretty good. Alright, let's just come over here again with our brake master cylinder. We'll just put it back on the shelf here. Okay, always good to have some backup parts. And then we've got our brake fluid bottles, which are empty now. Let's just chuck them over there. Alright, so that is one job, well, two of the jobs done for today. And as I mentioned, this is going to be the third job that I want to try and tackle, guys. We want to see if we can start stripping off all of the trim, all of the glass, taillights, headlights. Everything needs to come off of this thing. And probably interior too, because, yeah, definitely want to see if we can paint this thing eventually. So let's go ahead and remove this arm and this arm and that arm and all of the arms. Okay. And now we can try and push it a little bit forward. I think the handbrake is up. It might be. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's actually holding very well, but yeah, we just recently installed the disc brakes on this thing, so it's probably gonna need to run in a bit, you know. But okay. Alright, so we are going to need a variety of tools, most probably. Alright, so let's bring this thing closer. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we are probably gonna need, yeah, all sorts of tools, but I think the pry tool is gonna be the main tool that we'll utilize here. But let's just bring our stuff back over here. Okay, put that in the toolbox and then we can grab it as we need it. So I think I'm gonna probably start with the pry tool. Alright, so the pry tool is gonna probably take off all of the trim for us. Okay, so we can just do these all one at a time. So there's our trunk emblem or trunk badge, and I can also inspect all of the trim now and see what we can actually reuse and what we're gonna have to replace. This big piece of chrome, it's actually doesn't look too bad, so yeah, just gotta make sure we get the right stuff. Taillight also pops out with the pry tool. Alright, so this one is a bit busted, so we're gonna need a new left taillight at least. So we'll just go through everything as we took them off, making sure we get some decent parts on this. See, the right hand taillight is actually good. So yeah, alright, I doubt the bumper's gonna come off with the pry tool. It's probably gonna need a wrench. Alright, let's check this piece of chrome. Yeah, this one is still good enough. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, what else do we have? Yeah, this car's probably gonna have a crap ton of trim again. Alright, there's this rocket trim. Yeah, this one is not bad. It's not great, but it's fine. We'll probably replace most of the trim that's, you know, a little bit too far gone. Alright, this one is actually not too bad. It doesn't look too bad at all. So yeah, let's put it down over there. Alright, what else can we pop out here? Is this it's like a little piece of trim. Alrighty, what's the condition of this? That's also not too bad. So it doesn't look like the trim is all that bad on this thing. Alright, can this door handle come off? Yeah, it just pops off as well. Might get a new door handle for this side. I think I missed the antenna. Alright, let's just see if we can pop this off as well. Alright, so these seem to be interchangeable, left and rear, left and right. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Alright, let's grab this one as well from this side. And there's a little badge over there that I missed. I didn't see it on the other side as well. Let's just check. Okay, we'll get some new antennas. So this little badge over here. There we go. Alright, gotta pop the trunk first for that to come off. Alright, yeah, it's not the greatest. But I don't think we really need to put all of these badges and stuff on the car. Well, I'll decide what I want to do with this thing, guys, because I think this car might not be one that we are going to be selling. I don't know. We'll see. I might add this to the collection, you know. We'll see. I'll still decide what I want to do with this thing. But okay, this trim looks quite bad. Okay. Yeah, this is it's a little bit unfortunate that trim is busted, but as I said, there's going to be a whole lot of trim and stuff we don't put back on the car most probably. Alright, this is the rear window. Comes off with that chrome. Alright, doesn't really say much about the condition on that one, but sure we'll figure it out eventually. And that is the headliner. Let's just go ahead and pop it out. Yeah, I actually still wanted to see what color interior we are going for with this car, guys, eventually. I don't know. I was thinking maybe since we are doing the roof on the car in white, we might do, yeah, white interior. I don't know yet. We'll see what's available and what we can find, and yeah, maybe there's even a possibility of doing a two-tone paint job on this thing. I don't know, or a two-tone interior rather. Okay, there's our small window. Yeah, it's definitely going to need a whole lot of parts, and we are kind of running out of money, so I'm going to see if we can actually get a decent amount of money for the BMW E36 at auction, so that we can fund this project a little bit better. And then that way we can hopefully get, you know, some new trim pieces as well. And I think this thing's got a screw somewhere, because that didn't just want to pry off. So yeah, screwdriver it is for the door mirror. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what we're going to have to replace and what's going to be okay. I think this roof also can be chopped off again. because we are going to be painting that a different color and making the car like a two-tone, kind of two-tone, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so there's one of the fender upper chromes. Okay, so yeah, a lot of stuff is going to have to be replaced. Yeah, I see. Alright, so yeah, looks like most of the stuff is going to come off with the pry tool here. So let's go ahead and do this. And I think let's make a second stack over here. Take off both headlights. Yeah, both the headlights are kind of bad. They don't really look that great. Okay, let's pop this off. I think these, I don't know, do these, yeah, I think they come off separately. Alright, let's just put this back onto there. I think it's going to be easier to take them off like this. Alright, what are these? These are like the blinkers. Okay. I thought those were supposed to be orange. Maybe they have lost their color, and you know, we'll see. Maybe we can sort that out. Yeah, that one looks a bit bad. Those are bad. This one doesn't look too bad. We'll see. Maybe we can get those tinted orange again. Alright, let's pop this grill off again. Yeah, the grill still looks decent. Definitely some parts we can reuse here. Alright, there's our badge for the hood. Okay, bumper's probably not going to come off with the pry tool. That'll probably be bolted down. This trim is obviously very bad. Alright, getting this one off. There we go. This one looks good. Alright, this chrome on the hood. Yeah, that's the hood trim, as they call it. Let's just take that off. Okay, so that's all of that. Alright, well, still got 2 million pieces of trim on this car that we need to get removed somehow. I think this one we put over there. Just try and keep these things sort of together. Okay, that is once again quite bad. Alright, let's see. This side we're going to need our screwdriver for that trim. Can this trim come off here, which is, yeah, that is looking kind of bad. Alright, well, don't know. I'll decide if I really want to put the trim back on this thing on the sides. I don't know if it's going to, maybe it's going to look a little bit less classic if we did this. Maybe I'll do a resto mod on this thing. I don't know. Remove some of the trim. It's definitely going to be a whole lot smoother. Okay, that door handle doesn't look too bad. Okay, now we need to do all of these windows and trim on the window and on the roof and such. Yeah, can't really tell if those parts are good. But we're gonna take them all off. Alright, yeah. As I said, this is quite a big job doing a car like this, guys. You need to really go through every single thing. We still got this rocket trim over here. Okay, which is also kind of bad. Alrighty, and I think this door mirror needs a screwdriver. Okay, that part of this trim on the roof still needs to come off with the pry tool. Yep, holy crap, this thing has got a lot of chrome. But okay. Alright, I think that is most of that removed. We still need to take off the bumpers and this door mirror, and I think everything else is pretty much removed now. So let's go ahead and put this back into there. Okay, screwdriver, come here. We're just going to come and take this off as well, which the screw is over there. Just one little screw holding this door mirror in. Alright, this door mirror is not bad, but it's not the greatest, but okay. We'll probably decide what we're going to replace and what we're going to put back on the car. I don't know. Alright. Alright, so we've got ourselves the wrench, and now we need to try and find out where the bolts are on this bumper, which I never really took one of these off of a car like this, guys, so I don't know. I've got no idea. There should be a bolt somewhere. Unless if this really just pries off and I haven't tried it. I don't know. Let's just see. Nope. That ain't coming off with the pry tool. I don't know how this is supposed to be removed. If I had to guess, there should be something over there. But my goodness, this is so freaking shiny and blingy under there. I can't really tell what the heck's going on. Alright, folks. So we've got the bumper off, and it appears that the bolts are just on these brackets over there and over there. So, yeah, well, I suppose that's how it works. Not really going to question it. And now the question is the rear bumper. Does it work in a similar way, or is this going to be a whole other shebang? Wait a minute. We've got... Yeah, there's some obvious bolts over there. Okay, so the rear bumper's got 4 bolts and the front bumper's only had 2. So, okay, whatever. There we go. That is the job done. Alright, so all of the trim, all of the chrome, everything is off this thing. And I think next up we're going to take the interior apart. Or take the interior out of this thing. Let's just see. Okay, so these are bolts, and yeah, there's like an inner piece. That's what I meant with, we could probably do a two-tone interior in this car. Alright, and then what the heck is that? Is that the rest of this door pan or panel or whatever this thing is? I don't know. Is it like a 3-piece? Holy crapola, this thing is a... Yeah, it looks like it's a 3-piece. Now, I don't know where the rest of these bolts would be on this interior panel, really. It doesn't look like it's coming off. Pry tool? Let's try a pry tool. Oh, that ain't prying off either, guys, so... How the heck does one take this off? Yeah, I'm at a little bit of a loss here. I don't know where this panel comes off. Maybe let's just check the other side. Okay, so there's a bolt over there for that one, and then this one. Alright, maybe both of them need to come off. Okay, so that is off. Okay, and once again, that is stuck on there. Now, what is that? Yeah, I don't know. It's just gonna have to stay there. I'll figure out this maybe off camera then, guys. I don't know. Okay, let's get the back seat out. And we've also got a parcel shelf at the back. We need to try and figure out how that works. Oh, but there's our back seat, which is actually bad. And then we've got this bench seat at the front we can take off. Alright, let's go around this way for the other one. Alright, let's just put that over there for now. Alright, so that parcel shelf part, I think that can also pry out. I remember this when we did the whole, you know, stripping of the floor pan and such. So that can come out like that. Okay, looking good. Alright, so now I think those rear panels, we had those out before. They just bolt into place. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe if we figured it out, I don't know about this. If it's a one piece, if this thing also splits somehow, it might actually, I don't know. Yeah, because that would mean that only the front door cards were, you know, two-tonable, if you know what I mean. Because that has only got the one bolt holding that in. Okay, so now it's going to be a matter of figuring out this dashboard. I'm not sure if the cluster... Yeah, we can probably pop the cluster out. But I think the dashboard is probably screwed down somewhere, somehow. Okay, so we might need the screwdriver. I would reckon it's a screwdriver. Okay. Let me just get in here. There we go. Alright, what is the story here? There's a... Oh, that's a bolt. Okay. That's a bolt, that's a bolt. Okay, so we need the wrench. Alright, we've got our wrench again. Alright, let's see now. Yeah, this thing is swinging around on the suspension. It's hard to get the wrench over these bolts. Okay, so there's the one part of the dash. And then the second part of the dash is also out. Okay. Pretty nifty how that works. But I suppose that's probably the way that it is, guys. Okay, so now that we've got the dashboard out, we've got the interior mostly stripped. I don't know if the steering column really needs to come out. We'll probably have to take it out, yeah. This is probably going to have to be replaced anyway. It looks like crap, so... Alright, well, it's not coming out. I don't know, is there a fourth bolt onto this thing? Yeah, beats me. I don't know, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. If we can't get it out, we can't get it out, then that is just what it is. Alright, so now I really want to see if I can start sandblasting the car, so I'm going to push it into the paint booth. Alright, and it's gonna be quite a bit hard to push this thing now, probably. I don't know, we'll see. Let's just try this. Yeah, I don't want to push it too fast and end up crashing it into the wall. Okay, but here it comes. Come on, keep going. Alright, stop it right there. I think the handbrake should still work. Yeah, that is good enough. Alright, so let's quickly see if we can just straighten it out. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So this has been quite a bit of a chore getting this thing over here. And I don't know how well this is going to work. So let's try it. Sandblast all of the rusty bits. And we're going to need quite a couple of bags of sand. So... we'll see. Hopefully I've got enough sand for this. And we just keep going. Alrighty, folks. So yeah, that took quite a hot minute to get all of the rust off of the car's body, mostly. And I think we did pretty well in terms of, everything except for the roof. So let's just quickly open this door as well. I don't see any rust on the door on this side. Door jamb looks good. Yeah, alright. So I've got a plan for the roof. I'm going to be cutting it off because it needs to come off anyway for the separate paint job we are doing on that. But yeah, everything else looks pretty decent now on this thing. So I think what I'm going to do is quickly grab the plasma cutter. Alright, way over here. Alright, let's grab this. We're going to see if we can chop the roof off again. It was actually pretty simple taking it off the last time. So I think it's just all of these welds here on this side and same on the other side. And then this roof should hopefully just come straight off. Alrighty, so there we go. We've got the roof off of the car. And now I want to see if I can sandblast this, maybe separately. If not, if this is going to be a problem, I'm just going to have to replace the roof. I don't think it's going to be a big train smash, as they would say. Yeah, which I actually seem to use that term a whole lot. You know, the thing about something being a train smash. But yeah, seems like this roof is just one of those things that can't really get into all of those nooks and crannies. With the sandblaster even, which is a bit of a problem. But we'll also try the angle grinder. Just for good measure. Make sure we can actually figure this out. But I think it's mostly the angle. We need to get the right angle for this. Which I clearly haven't found yet, so I don't know. Alright, well, just try and get the bulk of it. There we go, just keep going. We'll get it figured out. Okay, so might have to try that with the angle grinder, with the, rust removal disc. I do still have got a rust removal disc somewhere, right? Haven't seen it actually in a while. So I might have to see if I can find it real quick. Let's try it. I mean, since we are busy with this, and this is what I'm trying to achieve today, might check it out real quick. So there's our rust removal disc. Right, pop that onto there. Just try this, guys. I mean, yeah, see that actually works a whole lot better. Okay, angle grinder for the win. Alrighty, well, didn't expect that to work, but okay, we've got it sorted, guys. So I think for the last part of today's job that I want to try and do is get this thing primed up. So we've got all sorts of things to still do on this car, but I think primer would be great, because then we can get the paint job sorted. Hopefully in the next episode we'll see how it works out. And can I just get this thing into the spray gun? And the lid, how does this freaking lid struggle to go on sometimes? I don't know. But okay, guys, I think let's cue a little bit of music again and just get this thing primed up, and then we'll see how it goes. Alright, so there we go, guys. We managed to paint most of the car up in primer, and we still got to paint the roof, but we just ran out of paint, so I figured, well, what the heck, let's just put in a new can, and we'll just do a quick little, you know, revision of the paint job on the car now, and see if it's actually covered everywhere. We still got a couple of spots here and there. We still have a little bit of clear coat coming through, but I don't think that's really a big issue. Can just address that real quick. These corners are a little bit hard to spray, but it's fine. It works. Just gotta go about it a bit. And let's check on this inside of the door. Yeah, it's still got that clear coat coming through there, but you know what I mean. It's not too bad. Right, let's just check under the hood. If we've got this, yeah, I think it looks good. Let's just do this for good measure. Alright, and over there might be a tiny bit of rust there as well that I just noticed we may have missed. Right there, it's not terrible. Let's just quickly grab this, our sandblaster. Just bring it over here. Alright, let's just lean in and blast it away like that. Okay, that should do the trick. Okay. Alright, a little bit of primering up there. Yep, that does the job. Looking good. Alright, this door, yeah, also once again the clear coat thing is still there. Still got to figure out how to get these door cards off of these doors and how the steering column comes out. I've got no idea, guys, but I just hope our hose is going to reach for this to paint the roof over here. Just going to do this part separately, so this is going to be painted white. And then I think that's going to be the two-toneness we put onto this car. It's going to be a very subtle change, but it's going to make the world's difference on what this thing looks like at the end of the day, guys. So as I've mentioned, I don't think I actually told it to you guys, but I was thinking of doing a cyan color paint job on the car, and then with the white roof. I was also considering the chrome roof, but then, yeah, we don't really, I don't know, the car's got a whole lot of other chrome on it, so it might be a little bit too much chrome, so we're just going to go ahead and paint it white rather, and then we are going to do the wheels in white as well with those chrome hubcaps. So I think it's gonna work out. And I just noticed some rust over there. Let's just sort that out. Would you just go back where you belong? Okay, and put that back over there. A little bit of primer. Alrighty. Alright, I haven't popped the trunk yet to see what we are dealing with under here, but I think it looks fine. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. Well, I'm quite happy with what we managed to do today. This thing has been primed up and it looks a little bit different now with the roof off. I actually wonder if there was a possibility of converting this into a convertible, but yeah, I don't know. I think the coupe is going to look pretty nifty once we get our roof painted white. So yeah, there's obviously a little bit of color that's a little bit weird over here, but I don't know. It might be some dents. I might have to check if there's any dents with some Bondo. Make sure this thing is nice and straight. But this episode has gone on way longer than I thought it would, guys. So yeah, I think that's time for us to wrap it up. So thank you all so much for tuning in once again. Really appreciate the views, the likes, and also all of your comments are very welcome down below, guys. So yeah, I think that is going to be it. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to check out the auction on the BMW E36 as well. There's a link down in the description to that. And then, guys, I will see you all in the next one. So cheerio for now.